What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? Let's get back into the market and mic check 1 2 1 2. Maybe don't want to repeat what happened yesterday. If you guys didn't catch that, you might have to take a look at yesterday's show so you get a little laugh. But let's get into the action. Let's take a look at what's going on in the markets right now. And boy, were we right on pre-market prep this morning, and even better, I think, on live trading as I went after what short Nvidia today. Yes, guys. I mean, look at the action that we got in Nvidia today. Can you get a better trade than this? We were talking about the 450 reversal action. Would we get a move towards that 450 and then a reversal back down? On the first trade attempt, was not able to nail it, got out for a tiny loss, then coming after it. And look where Nvidia is now, down to already 433 from 450s. Entrance for me was 448. Can you be mad about this? No, not at all. What a killer trade in Nvidia. And this is why you got to know how to play the opposite side. For long only traders today, they're getting wrecked. And this is why you cannot be long only, at least I feel, in this market, because that's easy a recipe for disaster. Let's take a look at what's going on in the markets. Of course, Apple down big, Microsoft down big, Nvidia, Meta, Google down, all these names down today. But really, I mean, we were getting a look into this yesterday. And this is why it's so important to pay attention to what the market was telling you. Yesterday, it was big tech holding the market up. Today, big tech goes down. So what happens? No more holding up here. And boom, did we go down today. So flush, down goes Frazier. You got a lot of stocks now looking horrible. And take a look at ARM. I've talked about it earlier in the week, that this looked like a bear flag and it looked like it wanted to come back down to 50. As ARM goes, so will tech right now. And Nvidia, big rejection of this 450. We could be heading right back down to 410s. This is the final let go, I feel, of Nvidia, as we're looking to probably make a move back to 400 or even down to 360s. We'll see what happens there in Nvidia. That's just the way I feel. You guys call your own shots, like always. Let's take a look at what else is making moves today. There is only thing in the green from the open is utilities bouncing back a little bit today. And some of these got a decent bounce back, and it kind of makes sense after 10% down yesterday. But is this anything that I want to buy the dip on? No, these are just, to me, what is this? These are just people trying to get back some of the gains. And then really quickly, you're going to get out of this area. And what else did we saw weak today? Well, let's take a look here. Consumer cyclicals really weak. I talk about this all the time, how when you start to see the market get hit, that's really when you see the high beta names take the major hit down. Today, leisure leading that downside action. Of course, when we talk about leisure, we're talking the cruise lines, we're talking Airbnb. Just mentioned this morning on pre-market prep, I talked about how I've been looking for lodging plays, the downside. Today, Airbnb, down she goes. Hilton, down she goes. Marriott, down she goes. And even another one that I was coming after today, Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. I'll be full disclosure, was not able to gain on this position. And big part for me, I had to stop watching it. I had to work on some kind of production outlook and some producing. So I wasn't able to wait for this move here. But look at this takedown from the 67, 70s. Big move down there. And NCLH, the cruise lines, not looking good. The airlines not looking good either. For a while, industrials were starting to get into the green. That went red. I've been talking about CAT and how that was a really nice setup for CAT to now start coming down into the gap zone. Look what's happening. We're starting to break that 269 going into the gap zone. And what's happening in Deere? Deere going lower. And be careful out there. Finally, GE is looking like it's broken. We talked about this yesterday, so I don't want to sound like a repeat here. But look at the XLI going lower. Let's take a look at other action. Technology now really starting to get weak here. And I think that this is when we're going to start to see which ones do they really want to hang on to. Because certain ones are looking like they're going to go lower here. Financial services really getting hit hard again. And this is the biggest outlook for me. That's the most important for the market, is catching this outlook, because the KRE going lower, JPM going lower. Take a look at Bank of America today. Now it's down through the KRE low. Yes, I said that. Now when the regional bank concern was happening, it was over here to the left-hand side. Now we've broken that. Now things are really looking bad here in Bank of America, and that's a global bank. We're not talking small bank here. We're talking the big boy, Bank of America, right? This is not looking good. This is why in the long run, I think Citi might actually disappear. And I'm going to say that I don't think Citigroup is anywhere near where I would want to touch as an investor. I think this company is soon to at least get hit hard on that continued downside outlook. New lows probably coming towards the pandemic lows. Will we go down to 32s? Visa not looking good. Talked about this one on live trading, how this one could be a rejection of the 230 spot. And look at that. It cuts through the 230, comes back to the 230 as resistance, knocked down again. So I hope that you guys were able to nail this down. It looks like turbulent seas are next. Bro, any bottom for Square? Why? Why would we be looking at Square right now? This is the thing. This is the part where, like, if you're looking at this stock, I'm sorry, Boba, but you might be doing it wrong. And I hate to tell people that, right? Because the truth is, it's up to you guys to determine what you want to go after. But this is a falling knife and hasn't come back at all. Yes, we got a little bit of bounce here in Square, but what do you see? You see continued monthlies to the downside. Yes, we got consolidation to the right-hand side here where we went sideways. But what happened there? No real trend reversal. Continued downside action. This is catching a falling knife. I think it goes lower. And even if it does come back, what's the risk to return on this? That's the key there. There's a lot of risk. I'm not seeing much on the return side. PayPal going lower also. There's so many names that are in the worry right now. You got to be careful where you're doing investments. And am I telling you which way to invest? By no means necessary. But look at the charts. They speak for themselves. All right, let's keep going, guys. What else is being mentioned out there? Rough seas for sure. Raz saying you should do a documentary on your outlook since 4 months about the banks. Yeah, Raz, trust me. By the time CNBC catches up to the bank trade, trust me, there's going to be plenty of the guys out there that have been saying they've been talking about the banks the whole time. You know it right here on Start Swing Trade. We've been watching the banks, and it looks like there's continued downside action. All right, let's take a look at some other trades out there, and it's not looking good out there. So if you guys have stocks to take a look at, throw them up. We can keep looking into the sectors and the industries. It doesn't look good right now. And another one that I was looking for today for reversals. I talked about what? I talked about oil maybe getting reversal action, right? But my biggest thing with oil action is I always look for a little bit of an hourly move to the upside and then a rejection, because that's how these oil names like to go. Look how this is XOM is trying to get back through kind of the 116.50 area. And eventually I think it rejects this 116 and comes down towards 114.75. So we'll see what happens there on XOM, but it ain't looking good on these oil trades either. So definitely smash the like if you guys are enjoying this in the chat and out there on YouTube right now. Hit the like button. Let me know. Do you guys like learning about this industry stuff? Because to tell you the truth, I could keep this to myself and go trading on this information, because the truth is, this is where I get my edge. All right, let's take a look. What other areas are struggling right now? I'm going to point towards a tweet that I did today. And the reason why I did this tweet is specific to look for opportunities, right? And so I'll bring it in here, guys. You guys can see this right in front of you guys. Ooh, you guys are even seeing my AI extension to the right-hand side where I can kind of find tweets and things like that. Ooh, you guys can ask me about that. All right, but look at this, guys. This is what I'm pointing to. The current environment. Where are we shifting to? We're we're shifting to the focus of wage inflation. Labor agreements are really kind of driving this conversation with what happened with the UAW, with what happened with UPS. Then we're shifting the focus to prolonged interest rates. So, what comes with those prolonged interest rates? We start doing what's called debt focus. We start focusing on where the debt is. That's what Dennis Dick was pointing to today on PreMarket Prep, right? Was focusing that these debt companies are starting to get hit hard. Then bank concerns. You guys know we've been mentioning that. We could take a look at the KRE going lower, the XLF, of course, the spiders for the financials. And then when you look at the weakening consumer, that's where we're going to go now. Let's take a look at the weakening consumer. We talked about these cruise lines, leisure plays getting hit, and this is going to be continued downside action. Look at Best Buy today. This told me a lot. I've been looking at Best Buy for shorts and continued move to the downside. And there you go. What's another stock I've been talking about? Lululemon. Yes, I said it. Lululemon. I've been looking at this short for literally 3 days. Today, I take my eye off of it for 1 second, and look what happened out the gates for Lulu. There goes the slowing consumer, guys. This is what we should be looking for. And trades like this makes us the money. Let's be honest. If you're able to nail a trade on Lulu today from around the 380s down to 366, are you kidding me? That's money making right there. We'll see what happens on that one. Wasn't able to master this one. I'll tell you, I went shorting Lulu twice, 2 days in a row. And I made some small gains in between, but really should have held on in more of a swing trade approach to nail this right here. So it could have been like a $5 risk, looking for a entrance around 385, risking off of the 390s. Now, what would have been the return? Even with the smallest share size, we're talking what? Close to 20 points. This is the type of thing that we need to be looking for on Start Swing Trade. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is being mentioned out there. And that's what it's all about, Kevin, because the truth is, it's not necessarily about that I'm awesome or whatever. I just want you guys to be in tune with the trends. Where's the money going? What's coming? And what's really showing up underneath the hood? And I think this is going to really start showing up everywhere. Look at McDonald's. Look at the downturn that you're seeing in McDonald's. Look at DPZ today, Domino's Pizza. This is telling us something, guys. We need to stay sharp. All right, guys, it's 3:47. I'm going to end today probably at 3:55 as I got to go do some things after the bell and definitely be ready to wrap up the day. But like always, guys, you guys can keep up with me on Money Mitch BZ. We're going to keep pushing forward. Benzinga is your place to not only get your market information, but sometimes get the conversation ahead of the catalyst, right? That's what we try to do a lot of the times, is if we can even get you guys ready, have a plan, a playing field ready to how you're going to go against this, the playbook. That's what we're here for, guys. Smash the like if you guys enjoy that. All right, let's keep going. Okay, now I feel like I need to eat McDonald's. No. Don't do that to yourself, Raz. That definitely probably not be the best way to go. All right, let's take a look at what else is moving in the markets. Real estate has also been just falling off the tape. So are we starting to see concerns coming into real estate? And you need to start thinking about ones that I think that are in what? In office. Office REITs are starting to get smacked. This is another area of concern. And I think that we really need to be keeping our eyes on some of these. And you can see here how the trend has been as of late, especially in these office REITs. And so look at these office REITs for opportunities to the short side is something I'm thinking about. These are the biggest names: ARE, BXP, Volk, what is that? Volnado Realty Trust. That looks like a short. Well, a lot of these are starting to fall off the tape. And I think that we're going to start seeing some issues show up. And where? First, it's going to be the office REITs. Then it could be the diversified REITs. But for right now, I'm seeing some issues showing up here. And this is something that we want to catch before everyone starts talking about it. They talk about it all the time when it's late, not early. The LTR right there, breaking down, right? And this doesn't look good. This looks like a dead cat bounce that's now falling right back down. We'll see what else is out there. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is being mentioned. But yeah, have you heard anybody talking about office REITs? They'll probably do it too. By the time they mention the bank concerns, the regional banks, and where are a lot of these regional banks exposed to? Guess what, guys? Guess what? Office REITs. There might be something there underneath the hood. Let's keep talking, guys. Let's throw up some tickers. It's about 3:50. We got about 5 minutes left here. If you guys have any tickers to take a look at, go ahead and mention them. TFC starting to fall off. All these regional banks not looking good, guys. Even the more expensive ones. I can show you guys the more expensive ones, like let's say like a PNC. This has started to fall off. If this goes through kind of the 119, this could go back down to 110s. And I really think we're running into more and more concern. And then healthcare. Healthcare is a play that we started seeing turn around. We're talking about Eli Lilly and how this looked like it's starting to break down, could come right back into this gap zone. Another area that we were looking at was Merck for that 105 rejection. That's been working. That's been on the downside too. But let's talk about also a different area. Let's talk about the healthcare plans. This is an area that was hot as of late and now is starting to drop down. This is where I'd be a little bit careful. Are we going to start seeing these healthcare plans get a lift, or will they take the next leg lower? This is in a trade that I'm just trying to keep an eye out. Right now, I don't know where this is going, but I'll tell you, it's something to keep an eye out for. All right, basic materials really starting to turn around too. And we were thinking that coal was starting to get hot. Well, there you go. Now the turnaround's right back down. BTU pulling back, AMR pulling back. And if we're going to start seeing oil top, I don't think we're going to start seeing coal continue that same strength. Now, the biggest thing for me on WTI is looking to see if we can recover 90. Today, we went to 90.27, bottom range 87.76. Do we start closing above that 90 on WTI? That could bring oil back. If you don't, you're looking for downside action. Looking sharp is what we do, man. When you look sharp, you might just play it sharp too. All right, let's take a look at this. DFS. Chris, I don't mind taking a look at this. This looked like an easy short setup. We were looking at Visa and MasterCard. We were talking about American Express yesterday and how this looks like it wants to go down. Look at American Express today. Downside action in American Express. DFS is the same thing. It was up for no reason yesterday. Look at that. Look at that thing. It was up. It was just hanging out there. Now it's coming right back down. Take a look at a bunch of them. I mean, you also got Capital One, right? Capital One is, I always lose this one. It's COF. COF. Look, downside action. What is this telling us, guys? This is telling us that the consumer is slowing down. Delinquencies coming probably. We got to be careful there and strap in because it looks like things are just starting to get bad. Yes, I said it. It could very much just starting to get bad. It doesn't look good out there. I'll tell you that much. You know what looks good? Short side trades. That's what looks good right now. All right. And a lot of times when we get into this environment, we think that we can hide in defensive names because those seem to make sense. Today, some of those getting a little bit of a lift, like Kroger's, a little bit of a push up. But to tell you the truth, I mean, if you look at these household, these areas where it should be safety, these things have fallen off like a rock. I don't see the safety there. And so is there a safety trade? Maybe not. Tesla, another one starting to reject the 250s. I could see this cutting through 240s and going back to 200. I don't feel positive about Tesla. I'll tell you that much, guys. Biggest thing for me on Tesla is what's going to run into them with a prolonged interest rate, higher period, a slowing down consumer, and what? The truth is, inflation, wage inflation is not going to help it either because workers are going to want more. Tesla's going to eventually get to the point where their workers want more because if the UAW gets more money, guess what? It just passes on the buck. This is why Elon's so pissed off at what's going on with the contract negotiations because he knows if Ford and GM pay up more, guess what? Elon, even though you got the better technology, probably you're going to have to pay up also. So that's what people are thinking about on Tesla. And I think that that's why Tesla has a little bit of some headwinds versus tailwinds on the bottom. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us today. It's about 3:55. I can sit here and talk about the markets all day, but like always, you guys can catch us tomorrow morning on Pre-Market Prep. Catch, of course, Dennis, Dick, myself, and we'll have a little bit surprise guest. AB will be joining us, as AB will be also running the show on Thursday and Friday. I will be out tomorrow doing start swing trades. So this is the last start swing trade for this week. I will be back on Monday for start swing trade. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, not going to be doing the show. Got some other things, some family visiting here. But like always, guys, stay in tune with the markets. Right now, the biggest thing for me is what's the upside catalyst? There's not many. And maybe we could think of AI bubble as being what brought us here. And now what's bringing us down? I think it's all the uncertainty, the prolonged interest rate, the slowing of the consumer, right? All these things come into play. Wage inflation. Knowing your current environment is how you stay on top of this market. So a lot of people asking in the markets, what's going on? How do you stay on top? Stay up with the rotation. And of course, stay up with Benzinga. We're here for you guys. Keep battling, team. And we'll see you a little bit later. Smash the like, guys. I'll see you in the morning. Of course, we'll take a look at what happens. OPEC meeting tomorrow. That could change all oil. From the word out in the streets, the rumors right now is that they're not going to change anything. They're not going to cut production. They're not going to change their outlook. I think that's exactly what they do here. They were already on like kind of a little bit of a cut down. They're just going to be on a wait and see period here. But like always, OPEC does whatever they want. We'll find out tomorrow. Hit the like button. Like always, appreciate you guys and keep battling, team. Puts keep printing. Can't be mad about that one. And I like the dog just in the picture, Christoph. All right, guys. I'll see you guys like always, bright and early on Pre-Market Prep, of course.